Gemini, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign, and this is an energy reading. So please take it where and how it resonates in your life because it is your message. And if you're not a Gemini and this has popped up on your feed, it's fine. It's an energy reading, so it would only come to you if something is in this message that you need to hear. I mean, some of you are intentionally cross-watching. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people who it popped up on your feed, right? And you're like, why did it pop up on my feed? I'm not Gemini. I've never watched these videos before. There's something here that you need to hear. It would only show up at just the right time. And this is where your message begins. A little bit concerning. Wow. I can see the rest and it's really concerning. So there is an energy in your life that is extraordinarily domineering. It could even be abusive. It's definitely something that would fight against individuality or independence, something that would question at every step, why you have to do the things that you have to do or make you feel insecure about being independent. It could even be a lack of self-esteem or a lack of ability to produce or get anything done or feeling like you've been muted or even neutered in a way. This is an energy, if this is a person it's very easy, an energy that is bullying, that will bully because it feels diminished and it feels weak, and so it doesn't want to appear that way, but at the same time, it doesn't want to improve on itself. So there's this energy of somebody who's very domineering, could be cruel, very derogatory, and almost like is irritated by independence and self-sufficiency because it's so difficult for them. So this could also be greed. It could just absolutely just be greed. Now, this is how the cards showed up, and I want to review that with you because this is all that was showing, and then we have these other two cards that I did see when I put them in my face, and it's not that great. It comes to me more as greed when I flip these two cards around because this is like sin, it's toxicity, it's being almost locked in with the toxic, with the sinful, with the cruelty, with the restriction, with the something that keeps you locked in beyond your desire to be committed to it or be connected to it. It could be debt, it could be obligation or a feeling, but mostly it's fear. It's fear that keeps you locked in, and however that manifests, it's restricting you. It's something to do with money, holding on to money. There is greed here. There is a very greedy and exploitive energy that is coming up around you, and it's all for fear of losing finances. It's all for fear of losing something that you thought gave you security. It's all for fear of somebody coming to collect, somebody, tax man knocking on your door, trying to take something from you. This is a sense of just wanting to hold on to the littlest shreds of control, nickel and dime somebody, etc., all because they're scared, they're worried, they're not capable of making it themselves, but their pride would make them incapable of admitting that it's their lacking that's causing their situation. So they want to alter the outside world. They want to change the outside world instead of doing any fixing to their internal. So this is a very difficult energy to be dealing with, or it's a difficult circumstance where you're caught up and you're being held back by somebody who says you owe them money. It's got a financial spin to it. It really does. If this is like a romantic situation, I hope not, because this is owing somebody a lot of money or somebody using finances to manipulate and control and keep somebody else stuck because they want to control them and they don't want them to go anywhere. So this is a big red flag. These cards legitimately have not come out for anybody else, at least not in this configuration. So this is very Gemini energy specific. Wherever Gemini is popping up in your chart, this is kind of like a big old red flag that we've really got to keep digging into. What's all this about? Let's just, if we can please, Universe, can you just please clarify these 3 cards in my lap? Where is this coming from? Like, any clarity would help. And then we'll ask where it's coming from. Like, why is this happening? What's creating this energy? So we have Queen of Pentacles. So it's got to do with some sort of work or some sort of job. It may be that it's fear of losing a job, or fear of not doing a great job, or fear of things getting out of control, or somebody not being able to handle it. Because it does sit in a sort of slumped over, compromised position. And that's why it's almost somebody that's incapable of making a decision, because they're too almost like they're too worried about the process being correct, and that process is and that level of tediousness, or the level of tediousness is actually slowing down the whole process. So somebody has tied up funds, or they're taking their sweet time, dragging their feet intentionally, because to stall for themselves. This could also be being financially compromised right now, and almost sort of being stuck. It's like, well, I got all these bills over my head, but I can't pay them. I can't move forward because I have all these debts that I owe. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. So it is really an energy of feeling absolutely restricted and stuck, and even worse, controlled. It's an energy of feeling like you are controlled and you don't have any personal authority. Okay. Where is this coming from? Let's try to confirm and give the viewers some insight as to where is this coming from. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Well, your intuition is picking it up. And you can, happy birthday, Michelle Sandygate. You can see it, and you know it's true. You're in, basically, and I don't like when the readings do this, but this answer comes out a lot because it seems really like counterproductive to why people watch readings to begin with. When I ask a question and I get her, the answer is always, you trust your intuition. You already know where it's coming from. You already know exactly where this is, even if you haven't outwardly admitted it to yourself. Internally, consciously, you already know where this is coming from. Intuitively, you understand that it's happening, and ultimately, intuitively, you know you need a complete new start. Basically, what it's saying is you need to start from scratch. You need to break free from this. It's trust your intuition. You already know that kind of energy. But I try to get more specifics. There's an unstable situation, or there was a situation that destabilized, or wasn't going well enough to. So maybe it was a risk that you took, and now you're stuck in that risk. Or you intuitively know that something financial is set. It's almost like somebody is trying to keep something in limbo to prevent it from completely crashing. But the universe is saying, in no small terms, the reason why you're doing this, or you're almost putting something in stasis so it doesn't die. But ultimately, all you're doing is avoiding the inevitable. And you're wasting time, energy, and resources in the process. Or somebody has been wasting your time, energy, and resources by intentionally, there's intention here, by intentionally keeping something in limbo. They're doing it purposely. So, what? Now let's get into some answers. Well, first let's get a moon card. Oh, because this needs to be cut off, and this needs to stop. But clearly there's a way to do it. Be bold and make the first move so you're ready. And this is sometime after the new moon, so it's almost like things are growing. Things are getting more intense, and now is the time to take that action and to change things. And then a new romantic cycle begins. This is a new you. This is a new circumstance. This is something else that wants to come into your life, or you now are ready. You've gotten a new offer, right? There could be a new person on the horizon for you. There's newness here, right? But you're the one that has to take the steps toward getting out of this current situation. And that could be the catalyst to what makes you finally, cut something off or be done with something. So you are getting inspiration this week from the universe. And emotionally, since these are moon cards, emotionally, you're ready. You're tired of this toxicity. And so maybe if I said this to you even last week or 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago, you would have been still trying to make things work and you would have not wanted to accept this. But now you're emotionally, it's like you're awake to this. You know it. The fact that the high priestess is there, you've absolutely accepted your knowing of it. And ultimately, what do you want Gemini to do? What should Gemini do? I don't have any sleight of hand, right? The fact that these two cards came out, get the fuck out of this situation, walk the hell away from it, be done, be over, make the choice. You know there's nothing here. You're never going to be fulfilled. The cups are empty. The Eight of Cups, you know what it means? It means you just don't care anymore. It's not even about things aren't working, so you have to move on. It's you just don't even care anymore. You don't have an emotional connection or contact. And there's sometime around this new moon, that was that new moon that you decided to just walk away. It's during Leo season, the Leo new moon, the sense of now you have the freedom, and it's the freedom to walk away from what you do not care about anymore. You don't care about this anymore. Maybe you personally are taking a hit for somebody else. You were trying to save them from their own stupid shit, but their own stupid shit is not going to clear up. They're going to still be doing the same stupid shit because that's what they are. That's who they are. And I think now you're at a point where you're like, I'm done with this. You're going to feel almost immediately relief. When you decide to walk away, and it should be this week, no matter what you have to lose. And I got to tell you, in this energy, what's on paper and what somebody's trying to convince you that you'll lose is really only something they're contriving to keep you stuck. You're not actually going to lose anything because there's nothing here to lose. That's why the Eight of Cups came out. There's nothing here to lose. It's dried up. It's empty. You don't even care about it anymore. So ultimately, you're at a position where you're in a perfect position to walk away, to release a situation, to let it go. You're going to be so happy once you did. Plus, it's going to feel like a victory. It's going to feel like a victory when you leave because you are so finished with this situation. You're so finished making excuses for this circumstance, for this person. You're so done with that energy. You're so finished. It's like, I'm over it. You're over it. You are absolutely 150,000% over it. So what are we moving on to? That's always a good understanding. Building blocks. You're basically starting the foundations of your new life or your new way of life. You're starting something. I think you've already started something new. And so that's why you feel so secure in the fact that I don't need this anymore. Why am I even dealing with this anymore? In some cases, I honestly feel like you were doing it for somebody else. So these are building blocks. It's like, what's going to happen is just keep building up. Just keep supporting yourself. Just keep building what you've been building out. Just keep doing that, right? Just keep going. You already have a direction. You already have a place where this is leading. Okay, and then we have imagine. Oh, you really have, it's almost like it's saying keep building out from your imagination. Keep building out from what you've been dreaming or what you've been imagining. And I think that's what's hooking you and has kept you for so long. You can touch this old thing. It's already in the material world. This is the insecurity of the lack of material world, and you have to build it into the material world. And that is risky because you're like, what am I leaving for? I'm leaving for what? A hope? I'm leaving for what? A dream? I'm leaving for what? A risk? Yes, yes, yes. Because all of that is actually a lot less risky than staying where you are. Because even though it's tangible, it's corrosive, it's toxic, it's ruined, it's turning to dust, it's fading away. You're holding on to something that soon enough is going to slip through your fingers anyway, because it really is already gone. Right? So that's what's kept you stuck for so long, that you're building out. But this is beautiful because you're building out from a place of dreams, imagination. You're building something that you imagine, and it's confirming that what you've imagined is starting to come to life. It's starting to be built out into reality. So that's where you're headed. Either that, or it's just a straight up confirmation that what you imagined has come to fruition, and what you imagined was that this was going to turn to shit. And so it's just confirming the fact that, yeah, this has turned to shit. This has turned to shit, and you got to walk on. You got to move on. Oh, let's get a angel message. I'm going to do that. Angel message. So we have progress, not perfection. And that's the mindset that you've got to get in. That's why the angels have come and said this to you. Progress, not perfection. Don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus upon how far you've come and what you've learned. Taking us back to this, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all paved out. The point is, the potential and the progress is worth more than the risk. Right? So there it is. Focus on the progress and how far you've come, and not the perfection, right? That's going to help you untether yourself to this sort of safe space that you have with what you can already predict, and realize that even though it can't be predicted, and it maybe can't even be measured yet, it's better and it's healthier. Prosperity, there's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. And that shift happens when your energy shift happens, and when you start paying attention to what could happen and what could grow and the potential, as opposed to feeling like you have to stay stuck where you are. Let's continue. I'll see you guys in the extended.